the first experience I had with Andy was when I first came to read for his film Hard Ticket to Hawaii. Him and his wife Arlene called me into their office, and they were out of control then. They had me read, and you know, it's funny, not too long after that, I came over to their house, and this is when I really got to know them. I came over to their house. I said, Donna, do you want something to drink? And I said, yeah, I'd like some apple juice. So they poured me some apple juice, and they handed it to me, and I took one drink, and I spit it all over the place. And they looked at me, and they said, what's wrong? And I said, well, you gave me chicken broth that was in your refrigerator. And that was the beginning of our relationship, was when I spit on their kitchen floor. From there, Andy had spotted me out at the Playmate Olympics, and he hired me because of my athletic ability. He saw that Playmates were not only attractive, but they also, I've always been an athlete, okay? I've been an athlete. I ride motorcycles now, and I was a gymnast for many years. And to work in an Andy Sidaris film, you need to be athletic, because not only does he work you to death, but we do all our own stunts.
You know, I think the lovely thing about these films is that you have to see them again, not only because the people are so beautiful and the places are so glamorous, but because you do kind of get dazzled by the visuals. The plots, while they are not complex, and we're not going to, you know, go after a Pulitzer, they're fun. They really are fun plots.
Rocky's dead. Murdered by two men dressed up as women. They left a calling card.
We're up to our butts in this thing, and we don't even know what it's about.
I'm sitting here with Mr. Andy Sidaris, the director of many wonderful films that occasionally pop up probably every night on HBO, Cinemax, and Showtime. And isn't there something that I'm hearing about called the Andy Sidaris Challenge, which basically says that you turn on the cable at any hour of the night, and chances are you will see one of your films?
I sure hope so. That would really be nice. So yes, some of our films will have 3 or 4 a week running, and nobody else has that. Not even Spielberg and John Carpenter and some of the great directors. We're very lucky. We're very popular. We're not as rich as they are, but I'm very handsome, so I get by on my looks anyhow. So what the heck difference does it make?
When I think of a Sidaris movie, the first thought that comes to my mind is the first one that I saw, which was Hard Ticket to Hawaii. But what was the first movie that you made?
The first movie I did, believe it or not, was a documentary film with James Garner called The Racing Scene, way back in about 1968. And we filmed that. We followed his race team all over the United States, and his race team won the first race. That was the Baja 1000 in his category. They came in third in Florida, down at Daytona. They came in 5th at Sebring. They came in 13th in another race, and then they crashed. So most of the times you see a movie where they start at the bottom and go to the top. We started at the top, and his whole race team crashed at the end. So it was a different kind of a picture, but it was very realistic. It was a documentary feature for Filmways, and then after that I did a picture called Stacy. Following that I did Malibu Express. Now Malibu Express is Stacy with the male lead. And Stacy was so good that I felt that it demanded to be remade.
And Malibu Express, now that was what we have come to expect as the Sidaris film, with the secret agents and the boats and things exploding into girls.
I've had people come to me years after they worked in the picture and ask me what was the plot of that movie. And of course they asked me, what is the movie about? And I said, it's about 94 minutes. And that's about all I can say, because it was a complex plot. I mean, we had Russian spies, we had computers, we had large-breasted American women, we had large-breasted foreign women, we had great-looking guys. Darby Hinton was in it, Sybil Danning was in Malibu Express. We had a great time with that. That was handled by Universal Pictures Worldwide Video, and it did extremely well. They sold 50, 60,000 copies of that. And after that, Arlene was doing the Nancy Drew Hardy Boys series at Universal, and I decided, what the heck, and actually she decided. She said, we're never together. You're doing sports or doing your movies, and I'm at Universal. If we're going to do movies, why don't we do them together?
You know, when I think of most couples, most of them don't want to go into business together, because I can just, I mean, I'm talking about just a normal business, not even the movie business, because of all these tough financial decisions that can just rip a couple apart. And you and Andy now have been doing this for how long now?
Well, it's been about 7 or 8 years since we did our first film together. And the initial incentive did have to do with the fact that the house was the collateral. And I said, well, you know, if our house is going to be the collateral, then I'm going to be writing the checks. Which she said, you know, it was a test because we'd never worked together before, and we have a very kind of competitive, both of us have very competitive natures. So getting through the first film was a little bit of hell. You know? I mean, it was difficult. But since then, it's been rather terrific for the relationship. It's really brought us much closer together, and a lot of the competitiveness between us has disappeared, and we really rely on each other and trust each other. It's been very good, very healthy for our personal relationship.
Ergo, we created and formed Malibu Bay Films, and we went into the first picture, which was Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Refresh my memory. When I think of Hard Ticket to Hawaii, all I think of is that stupid. All I think of is that stupid snake popping out of the
toilet. Yeah.
Did you see Hard Ticket to Hawaii with the mutant snake? I mean, I love that snake. I love that guy. And you know what? The amazing thing is that after we did that picture, people would send us clippings from newspapers from Taiwan where they actually had toilets that had snakes coming in, where they have this problem with snakes in their sewage lines. So it was life imitating art, if you will.
Marcus Allen and Lynn Swan came to the screening, and we were talking. They said, "Hey, I hear there's a snake in this picture." I said, "Yeah." They said, "What do you think?" I said, "Man, Andy, me and myself, I'm afraid as hell. I'm terrified by snakes." And both of them said they're terrified for snakes. Well, they came to screen. It was a small screen, about 40 people. We were screening just for some special buyers, and they happened to be pals of mine. They came by. Well, Lynn Swan dove under the seats. He was screaming, "My God, this snake!" And Marcus Allen was covering his eyes and screaming. And of course, it was a rubber snake. You know, we didn't have a real big python there, but I gave away the plot, didn't I? No, it was wonderful. It's the one picture we'd love to do again. Donna was fabulous in it. She looked so sexy and hot, and she was sweaty with her great body and trying to fend off Rodrigo Obregon with this spear gun and with a knife. And then she goes into the bathroom, and I won't tell you. Beyond that, you got to rent the video.
That is a film that I wish I never did. It's a film that will never die. I got a lot of fans from that film, and yeah, that was a rough film. I don't even want to talk about that. Let's go on. That isn't one of my favorites, that's for sure.